We continue our team coverage with CBS 4's Carrie Codd. He joins us live from Fort Lauderdale, where a local church had a service to remember the victims. Carrie.
That church in Charleston may have been the scene of violence, death, and pain last week, but local churches like St. John's United Methodist Church here in Fort Lauderdale are making it clear that churches will remain places of hope, prayer, and love. United in voice.
Evil will not have the last word.
And in spirit. Parishioners from several churches gathered in Fort Lauderdale at St. John United Methodist Church Friday evening for a prayer vigil and to say that God's love will triumph over hate.
We know that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine.
Pastor Juana Jordan from Harris Chapel United Methodist Church in Oakland Park says the massacre at the church in Charleston earlier this week hit home for her because one of her college classmates had a family member killed. She says despite the violence, churches everywhere must continue to be a place of refuge and hope.
Our motto is open doors, open hearts, and so we will live up to that.
As the ministers prayed, the congregants wept. One by one, the victims' names were read and candles were lit in their memory. Mary Agnes Cunningham grew up outside Charleston and has a close connection to two of the victims.
That really touched because we all raised up together.
Yet she says God's teachings about forgiveness must extend to all, even the accused, Dylan Roof.
God is forgiving, and we need to be and try to be Christ-like as much as possible. I know it's hard.
And as the voices were raised and the spirits lifted, a sense of peace and optimism filled the congregation.
Even though this bad thing happened, we're not going to let it stop us from continuing to love people the way that we know that we're supposed to love people.
We spoke to leaders from several local churches in South Florida today about changing security measures. One local pastor said they do plan to hire armed security guards for their services. Other church leaders said they simply plan to be more watchful and vigilant over strangers entering their churches. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Carrie Codd, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Thank you, Carrie. And stay with CBS 4 News and CBSMiami.com for continuing coverage of the church massacre.